Hello friends, I am Professor Imran. Today we are going to learn two-dimensional array. In the last program we had seen what is an array and we had also seen how to put values into an array and how to print values in the array. Today we are going to learn how to enter values into a two-dimensional array and we are going to use two such two-dimensional array. Then we'll add the values of first array with the second array and store the result in the third array. Well, without wasting too much of our time, let's quickly go to the program and try and understand how do you do addition of a two-dimensional 2 by 2 matrix. So here it is. Alt enter to enlarge the screen, and there it is. On the screen you could see the data type of the array is integer. We are using three arrays, ar1, ar2, ar3, and over here you can see two square brackets. In the initial program, the last program that we had seen, we had only one square bracket, but here there are two square brackets. Again, here there are two square brackets. So are here two square brackets. And then there are two variables, x and y. These variables are also integer variables. Now, what are these two variables? What are these two square brackets? So when you talk about two-dimensional array, you're basically talking about array with rows and columns. The first square bracket will indicate how many rows will be there in the array. The second the second square bracket will indicate how many columns will be there in the array. So two rows and two columns is going to be a 2 by 2 matrix. So what we are going to do is we'll have one array of 2 by 2 matrix, the other array of 2 by 2 matrix, and the result of whatever values you put in the first array and second array, we'll add them and store the result in the third array, which is again 2 by 2. The reason behind that is if you add the values of two two-dimensional arrays, the result also needs to be two-dimensional, or to be more precise, a 2 by 2 matrix. So what is a 2 by 2 matrix? Matrix itself means rows and columns. Here we have clearly mentioned that there are going to be two rows and two columns. Now, how do you put values in a 2 by 2 array? So let's have a look. Here we are going to use nested for loop. So the first for loop, now this entire stuff is going to be to enter the values in the first array. Then the second nested for loop is to enter the values in this second array. So first let us try and understand this, and the second array is going to be very similar to that. So let's see what we are doing here. We have initialized x as 0 and we are going to increase the value of x till the value of x is less than 2. That means this outer loop is going to be executed only twice. Why do I say twice? Because when I say it is going to be executed till the value of x is less than 2, that means it will get executed when x is equal to 0 and it will get executed when x is equal to 1. The moment x becomes equal to 2, it will come out of the outer loop. So is the case with the inner loop. Again, value of y is 0 and y will be incremented till the value of y becomes less than 2, which means y will first be 0, then y will be 1, and once y is trying to increase beyond 1, that is when y tries to be 2, it will be thrown out of this loop. Now how does it work? First, value of x will be assigned as 0. Then it will be compared here. Is this x less than 2? The answer is yes. X is less than 2 because value of x is 0 right now. So it will get into this loop and it will now come here. And it will assign a value 0 to y. And then it will ask a question. Is y less than 2? Again, the answer is yes. So since the answer is yes, so it will enter the loop of second for loop. And now it will execute the scanf statement. In the scanf statement, if you could see, there's a %d. That means you are going to enter one integer value. And where is that integer value going to be saved? So the integer value is going to be saved in array. But at what position? Since x is 0 and y is 0, so the value that you will enter will be loaded at row 0 and column 0. X is indicating row, y is indicating column. So when x is 0, y is 0, that is the place where your first number will be entered. The moment that happens, because this loop has to be executed first. So the value of y will be incremented by 1. The moment the value of y is incremented by 1, because you have written y plus plus here, value of y will be incremented by 1. And again the question will be asked, is y less than 2? And the answer is yes, it is less than 2. So what is the new value of y? It is 1. So now x will remain 0, y will become 1, and you will enter the second number. So the second number will go to the place x0 and y1, which means row 0 and column 1. So the first number was at row 0, column 0. The second number is at row 0, column 1. Now, after you enter the number, y will be incremented by 1. Now y is 2. So is y less than 2? No, y is not less than 2 because value of y is 2. So it will come out of this for loop. It will come out of this for loop, but still it is in the first loop. So it will go up and it will increment the value of x by 1. It is a nested for loop. First the inner loop gets executed, then it comes out, and then it will increment the value of x by 1. So now x previously was 0, now x has become 1. So the moment x has become 1, the question is asked here, is x less than 2? The answer is yes, x is less than 2. Since it is true, so it will get inside the loop. Again there's another for loop. So over here, now y gets a new value. So y becomes 0. Again, the question is asked, is y less than 2? Yes, it is less than 2. So it will come here. It will do scanning, and the number that you enter will now go to x1 and y0. So row 1 and column 0. So the number you have entered will go to row 1 and column 0. Once you do that, once you have entered the number, value of y will be incremented by 1. And y will now become 1. So the moment value of y becomes 1, it will go and compare, is y less than 2? And the answer will be yes, it is less than 2. So it will come here, it will scan the number that you have entered, and the number will be placed at the location x1 y1, that is row 1 and column 1. The moment that is done, value of y will be incremented by 1. Now y will become 2. So again here it is compared. Y, is it less than 2? The answer is no. So it will come out of this loop. The moment it comes out of this loop, x will be incremented by 1. So x was 1, now x will become 2. So here the question is asked, is x less than 2? And the answer is no. So it will fall out of this loop and it will come here. By doing that, we have entered the values in the first array or the first two-dimensional array. So we have placed the values at row 0, column 0, row 0, column 1, row 1, column 0, and row 1, column 1. Similarly, it will happen for the second array as well. Only the name of the array is changed. The rest all procedure is going to be same. After you have entered the values in the first array and the second array, now is the time to add the values in the first array and second array and store the result in the third array. So let's see what we have done. Again, the for loops are going to be similar. Only we are going to do the addition process. So the same for loop, same procedure, but here what we are doing is value of array 1 is added to value of array 2 and the result is stored in array 3. So first the value of x and y both will be 0. Again value of x and y both will be 0. Over here also value of x and y both will be 0. So what will happen is whatever values you have stored in row 0 column 0 of array 1, row 0 column 0 of array 2, they'll get added and the result will be stored in row 0 column 0 of array 3. Then the second one will be row 0 column 1 of array 1, row 0 column 1 of array 2 will be added and the result will be stored in row 0 column 1 of array 3. Similarly, the next one would be row 1 column 0 of array 1 will be added to row 1 column 0 of array 2 and the result will be stored in row 1 column 0 of array 3. And last but not the least, row 1 column 1 value of array 1 will be added to row 1 column 1 value of array 2 and the result will be stored at row 1 column 1 of array 3. Once that is done, what we are doing here is we are printing the result. So we are printing the result, but the escape sequence that I've used here is \t. Now, why have I used a \t? Because I want to print the result in a typical array form. \t is tab. So here what is going to happen is there will be 8 spaces left, and then the %d value will be printed. That is first value of the array. Again, there will be a %t and the second value of array. Once that is done, it will come out of this loop. Then the line will change because of this \n. Again, it will go here. It will print the value of the array, print the value of the array, and this is how it goes on. Let's execute this program and see what the result is. So we are going to enter the numbers in 2 arrays. So in all, we are going to enter 8 numbers because it is a 2 by 2 matrix. So 2 into 2, 4 numbers in first array, 2 into 2, 4 numbers in the second array. So let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. These are the 4 numbers entered in the first array. Then 5, 6, 7, 8. These are the numbers entered in the second array. So what will happen here is the number 1 will be added to 5. Number 2 will be added to 6. Number 3 will be added to 7. And number 4 will be added to 8. And this is how the resultant array will look like. Just see, 1 is getting added to 5 and the result is 6. 2 is getting added to 6 and the result is 8. 3 is getting added to 7, the result is 10. And 4 is getting added to 8 and the result is 12. Well, what you could do here is, if you wish to print the array, if you want to print the array that you have entered, you can very well do that by writing a printf statement, because when you scan them, they are going to be placed one below the other. But if you want to give them a typical array look, you can simply do that by repeating this for loop in for printf. How do I do that? Edit, copy. I'm going to repeat this loop, but this time for printing. So how do I do that? There you go. Here I'll write printf, and then I'll remove the ampersand sign. Again, as we did in the past, printf, and here I'll write \n. Just above that, I need to write as \t. So this will help in printing the array in a typical array format. I can write a printf statement here saying that printf numbers in first array are as follows. So here is the double quote and semicolon. Now I want to print the second array as well. So what I'll do is I'll copy from here, edit, copy. I need to come down and I'll put it here. It's just that, okay, the small mistake that I have done. I need to cut it. I have to put it after scanning. So here it goes. And I forgot to mention here printf, so I'll write that. So there it is. Again, I need to change the name here. I need to make it array2. So there you go. I will hit few keys here and let's see how it goes now. There's one error. Let me just quickly rectify where the error is. Maybe while copying it and pasting it. Yes, here it is. Okay. So I'll re-enter the values 1, 2, 3, and 4. So numbers in the first array is 1, 2, 3, 4. Now I'll enter the second 4, 5, 6, 7. So there it is 4, 5, 6, 7. And then at the bottom is the result, that is 5, 7, 9, 11. Again, I want to differentiate the result, so I can write a printf statement here. Printf result of addition of two arrays is as follows. So again, there you go. Control F9 is the shortcut key. So I'll enter the values in the first array. That's the first array, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now I'll enter the second value. That's the second array. And there it is, the resultant array. So friends, that's all about two-dimensional array, or you could also read this program as addition of two-dimensional arrays. So in order to learn arrays and other functions of C programming, keep watching, keep learning. Thank you.